Join us as we take an extraordinary journey through the legal landscapes of the U.S. Viewcation presents the weirdest law in every U.S. state. Alabama. The state of Alabama takes its church etiquette seriously. It's not just about whispering or turning off your cell phone. Here, it's illegal to wear a fake mustache in a church that might just provoke a case of uncontrollable giggles. Alaska. Alaska's wilderness is famous for majestic bears, and the state wants to keep their slumber going. So it's a crime to disturb a slumbering bear for a quick selfie or any other reason. It seems like a straightforward rule to keep both bears and humans safe. Arizona. While you might be tempted to give your donkey a cozy bath in a bathtub, don't think about it in Arizona. This peculiar law forbids letting your donkey nap in a bathtub. Arkansas. Late-night snack runs can lead to trouble in Arkansas. Honking your car horn at a sandwich shop after 9 p.m. is prohibited. The reason behind the law remains a mystery. California. Early risers in Cali have an unusual law to abide by. You can't whistle for a lost canary before 7 a.m. Colorado. Colorado residents with a penchant for porch furniture may need to think twice about their decor choices. Porch decor is scrutinized here, and keeping a couch outside can get you in hot water. Maybe this is a law aimed at maintaining a tidy neighborhood aesthetic. Connecticut. Connecticut is particular about its pickles. Here, a pickle must bounce to be legally considered a pickle. Yep, a bouncing pickle is a legit pickle in Connecticut, and it's unclear how this criterion was established. Delaware. In the first state, there's a law against selling dog hair. While the specifics of the law aren't widely known, it's safe to say Delaware has made a firm statement about the sale of pet fur. Florida. Skateboarders in Florida better have their licenses in order. It's illegal to shred the streets without one. It's a curious reminder that even recreational activities come with their own set of regulations. Georgia. If you ever find yourself in Georgia with a giraffe in tow, be warned, tying it to a telephone pole or street lamp is a tall order. The reasoning behind this law remains a head-scratcher, but it's probably a nod to public safety and traffic concerns. Hawaii. In Hawaii, you might be tempted to make your spare change jingle by placing coins in your ears, but Hawaiian law frowns upon this practice, and it's prohibited. Idaho. In Pocatello, Idaho, a seemingly innocent ice cream cone could land you in hot water. It's illegal to carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket on Sundays. The exact reason for the law is unclear, but maybe it was discouraging some rather unusual behavior. Illinois. If you ever feel the urge to take a nap while shopping for cheese in Illinois, think again. Falling asleep in a cheese shop is against the law in this state. Indiana. If you've ever wanted to channel your inner survivalist and catch fish with your bare hands, you'll need to do it outside of Indiana. The state prohibits this unique form of fishing, leaving us to wonder about the adventures that inspired this law. Iowa. Iowa is quite serious about regulating public displays of affection. Kissing is legally restricted, and it must be kept under 5 minutes. Kansas. Screeching your car tires is a definite no-no in Kansas. This law mandates that rubber meet the road silently, perhaps to prevent noise pollution or reckless driving. Kentucky. Ducklings may be cute, but in Kentucky they come with regulations. Dyed ducklings must be sold in batches of 6 or more. It's unclear why the law was established, but it appears colorful ducklings are meant to be a group experience. Louisiana. In the land of gumbo and jambalaya, sending surprise pizzas is prohibited. While pizza deliveries are usually a pleasant surprise, Louisiana law insists on a little more predictability in its culinary experiences. Maine. In South Berwick, Maine, the temptation to take a nap in your parked car in front of Dunkin' Donuts is understandable, but it's against the law, even if the aroma of fresh donuts is too enticing to resist. Maryland. Moviegoers in Maryland should leave their lions at home. Taking a lion to the movies is a roaring no-go in this state, a law that leaves us wondering if there was a feline film fanatic behind its creation. Massachusetts. Massachusetts has its own approach to combating snoring. The law discourages snoring with open windows, ensuring that neighbors are spared from the sounds of nocturnal symphonies. Michigan. Crocodile owners in Michigan take note, you can't tie your pets to fire hydrants. Minnesota. Travelers crossing state lines often wonder about the laws they'll encounter. In Minnesota, one law stands out. No ducks on your head when entering the state. It's an unusual accessory law to say the least. Mississippi. Mississippi has unique legal concerns. Educating others on polygamy is off limits here, leading us to speculate about the conversations that prompted such a law. Missouri. If you're planning a curbside beer picnic in St. Louis, think twice. Sitting on a curb and sipping beer from a bucket is against the law. Montana. Montana takes its sheep seriously, even during transportation. The state insists on chaperones for sheep in trucks, ensuring the safety and well-being of these woolly passengers. Nebraska. If you have a venereal disease in Nebraska, you can forget about tying the knot. This law might be aimed at preventing the spread of diseases, but it certainly adds an interesting layer to marriage regulations. Nevada. Nevada is famous for its unique attractions, but camels on the highway are not one of them. They're not considered highway-friendly, and they're best left home in the Silver State. New Hampshire. If you're fond of tapping your feet or nodding your head to music in New Hampshire's taverns and restaurants, think again. It's against the law. New Jersey. Smiling is a virtue, even in the eyes of the law. In Jersey, you better smile at police officers, because frowning at them is illegal. New Mexico. New Mexico is particular about appearances. Unshaven women in public are a no-go. New York. The Empire State has a law that discourages fun in a specific way. Don't even think about throwing balls at heads for fun. It's an offense that's headache-inducing in more ways than one. North Carolina. North Carolina's cotton fields are no place for elephants. Plowing them with pachyderms is strictly prohibited. North Dakota. North Dakota keeps its residents grounded, literally. Falling asleep with your shoes on is discouraged, and barefoot dreams are frowned upon. Ohio. In Ohio, there's no disrobing in front of a man's portrait. Simple as that. Oklahoma. Oklahoma doesn't have oceans, but it does have a law against whale hunting. Oregon. If you're a goatee-wearing man, take note of Oregon's unique law. Kissing women is forbidden. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a law that discourages outdoor fridge surfing. Sleeping on top of a refrigerator outdoors is a chilly offense and best avoided. Rhode Island. Rhode Island law says you can't savor pickle juice as a beverage. Throwing pickle juice at trolleys is against the law here as well. South Carolina. Bathtubs are for bathing, not horses, in South Carolina. Horses aren't welcome in bathtubs, and they prefer the comfort of their stalls anyway. South Dakota. No naps are allowed in cheese factories in South Dakota, so be forewarned. Tennessee. Skunks may be interesting, but they're not welcome in Tennessee. The law discourages keeping them within state lines. Texas. Texans take wire cutters seriously. Carrying them in your pocket is a snip-happy crime. Utah. In Utah, you're legally required to drink milk, so if you're not a fan, reconsider your travel plans. Vermont. Vermonters have strong opinions about laundry. They've outlawed clotheslines. Virginia. In Richmond, Virginia, deciding who pays for coffee isn't a simple coin toss. Flipping coins in restaurants to make this decision is against the law. Washington. Washington State takes pretending seriously. Pretending your parents are wealthy is not allowed. West Virginia. West Virginia has an unusual law that targets underwater whistling. It's an offense to whistle underwater. Wisconsin. Wisconsin's butter standards are high even in prison. Butter substitutes are banned behind bars. Wyoming. Wyoming has an intriguing law concerning rabbits. Don't even think about taking photos of them from January to April without a permit. Now it's time to hear from you. Which was the weirdest of all these laws? Let us know in the comments section below.